back to our webcast on the estate planning process. Before we talk about the last major document in the estate planning process, the will, I want to talk a little bit about estate taxes, give you a quick little 2-minute primer on estate taxes. Estate taxes are transfer taxes. That's a tax on the value of the stuff you own at the time of your death. Your bank account, your investment account, your real estate, your life insurance, all that stuff gets totaled up. And if it's over a certain amount, it's potentially subject to this transfer tax called an estate tax. We have an estate tax at the federal level right now, and we also have exemptions against it. Right now, that federal estate tax exemption is $5,450,000, pretty high. It goes up by an inflation factor every year. For a married couple, the husband and wife each have that exemption, so together they have just shy of $11 million of exemptions. And for federal purposes, that exemption is portable. That means it doesn't matter if it's used or not used at the first death. The surviving spouse inherits that exemption. All right, so together, married couple basically have $11 million exemption. Now that means that less than 2%, some folks will say less than 1% of Americans are subject to estate tax. So for most folks in their planning, we don't have to worry about the federal estate tax. Now, many states have their own estate tax. Here in New York State, we have our own separate estate tax. That exemption currently is a little over $4.1 million. So the state estate tax exemption, a little over $4.1 million, but going up by 2019, it will match the federal exemption, whatever that happens to be at that point in time. Just one differentiating point with that, New York State's exemption is not portable. That means that it's a use it or lose it system. If one of the spouses dies not using their exemption, it can be wasted. So there may be, depending on the level of your wealth, there may be need to do some planning still, in New York State at least, with respect to that New York State exemption. But for, again, most folks, estate tax is kind of out of the picture now, but it's important to factor it in and make sure we are out of the picture before we put together your plan.